Hi everyone, in this video I will be showing you how I make my crochet pillow patterns a removable cover, and that is by attaching buttons to the back and then having these little crochet loops that you could take on and off when you want to take out your pillow so you can store the covers more easily, or if you just want to use the insert for something else. This is specifically for my Christmas and my Halloween pillows and whatever future pillows I come up with, but I think you definitely can use this method or idea for other projects as well. So I have two of my pillow panels here that are not connected yet, and I have some buttons and a needle that I will be using to sew onto the pillow. These are 1-inch buttons, so I'm going to use, I think, about 4 buttons across, depending the size of the buttons that you are using. If they're a little bigger, maybe you could get away with 3. If they're a little smaller, maybe 5, but I would go with about 1 inch, just so when we make the crochet loops, it is easy to get around the button. So first I'm going to do what I normally do when I assemble my pillows. I'm going to crochet the sides together, except I'm going to leave the bottom open, and then this will be our side where we insert the pillow, and then have the buttons, and then of course it will be removable. So on most of my, if not all of my pillow designs, there's some sort of face or design on it, so just make sure that when you're crocheting around, just make sure that the bottom is open. So to begin, I am going to insert my hook into the very corner, and I'm going to work up the side here. So this will be my bottom, and I'm going to attach my yarn, and this is the same hook size that I used for crocheting the pillow panels. I'm going to crochet 1, and then I'm just going to start to single crochet around, holding the 2 panels together and going through both of the panels. And then when I get to each corner, I'm going to make 3 single crochets in each corner to make it a crisp, clean edge. And then once I get to this last corner, I'm going to fasten off, because again, we want to keep this bottom open. Okay, so I just completed crocheting 3 sides of my pillow. So the panel that's facing you is the front, and then this is the back. There is a bit of a difference from the back and the front, so we're going to sew the buttons on the back. And I have all of my buttons here. You can measure it out if you want to. I'm not going to be that picky. I just know that I want the buttons a few inches away from this bottom edge, and I'm just going to eyeball where I want them to go. And of course I do want them all on the same row, but I'm not going to be picky about how spaced out they are, if it's perfect or not. So that's about where I'm going to sew my buttons on. I'm going to use white yarn, and then of course a needle that will fit through these little buttonholes. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to do an X. So we'll do the first one together. Let me remove these buttons so they're not in the way. So here I'm just going to go behind. And then do just an X. And I'm just going through this back panel. I'm not going through the front panel, because we only want the buttons on the back. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this and then tie this in here a couple times, but that's all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 3 buttons. So next we are going to do these chain loops. I went ahead and did one just to show you what this looks like. So I do have ends to weave in here, but basically we're going to make a chain in the front loop. So it goes around our button, just like this. So this is attached to the front. Again, these are ends that I need to weave in, and then they will attach around the button. So take your yarn, I'm using white, and then kind of just line up your button to the front panel, insert your hook, and we're only working in that front panel. Insert your yarn, chain one, and then pull that tail so it kind of creates a knot there. And then this is going to be individual of how many chains you do. So I did about 22 here, and you just want enough to go around the button, but you want it a little snug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can kind of just keep measuring it out. Again, you want it a little snug just because the chain will stretch. So you can kind of just measure it out and see. So that would be a good length, and I am stretching it a bit. So then once you have the chain length, then you need to go around your button and back to the front. Insert your hook into the same spot where you created that chain. And then just yarn over and pull through that space and the loop. And then chain one, pull through and tighten it to secure it. And these ends you'll just want to weave in the inside so they're not in the way. And then that's your loop to go around your button, stretch it down a bit. And that's it. This is how you will be able to take your pillow out so you can either store it more easily, or even if you just want to use your pillow insert for a different pillow cover, you would just take these off, take the pillow out, and then of course put them back on.
I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something new today, and if you enjoy crochet tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel.